Hello my friends, this is Qing Hong here. We are going to learn how to paint daffodils today. So I'm using a size 8 round brush and pick up the yellow color. And before I start, I actually look at the paper and have a sense where I want to put the main subject, the main flower. And our brush is a perfect size or the shape for painting the petals. And once the petals are in, I'm going to change color into more of a raw sienna and orangish color to have this center of the flower. And I continue to dry off my brush to take out water, so the more pigments that I put into the center of the flower to define the shadows can stay and doesn't spread out too much. So if I notice that my color is expanding more than I want, I just dry up my brush even more on the paper towel and pick up more pure pigment. And sometimes if you feel like the water is still running, you still have too much water in your brush, then you can change to a much smaller brush to get the details in easier. And now I'm looking at the petal and give it a more of the shade to define that form a little better. And I'm not doing a whole lot. I want to keep it loose, so just a little bit of shade here and there, following the texture of the petal. And you can enlarge the reference photo, and you will see all this subtle shade on the petal. And here I continue to darken the center of the flower. And then define the petal a little bit better. And still, just a very subtle touch to keep it loose. Now I'm changing into sap green, this yellowish green color, and to paint in the stem. And I want to paint this stem in one brush stroke, but I was distracted as I was painting because my new puppy, was right by my side, and she was doing something that's really distracting. So I kind of got distracted, and I'm taking a break to get my puppy in the right place, and then I'm coming back. So my point was, for the stem, I want you to paint as much as possible in one brush stroke to just have that like dry brush feel. And next I'm going into another flower bud and use yellow color to paint in the full shape of that bud first. And then I will drop in the glue, the green color, and this way it has a very natural fusion effect. The color blends just so much natural, and I like that a lot. And then I'm taking off a little bit of the water on my brush, and to give that little bud a little more definition, following the shade, the darkness that I'm seeing in the reference photo. So I'm actually going to put in another bud, flower bud, by the side because I feel that gives the composition more of dynamic. So here is a flower bud that pointing sideways, and I feel the composition is much more alive this way. And similar to the prior flower bud, I put in the whole shape with yellow color first and then drop in the grains. Okay, now I'm ready to do the leaves. And there's not a whole lot of water on my brush, and I glide my brush on the paper quickly so it has this strength. You know, for flowers, I feel like it's not all soft, and we need some strength to give it the beautiful contrast. So the flower feels more subtle and soft, and with the strength in the stem or in the leaves. So I'm here doing more of like dry brush technique. So with less water on my brush and glide on the paper quickly, and you can see there's some texture shown here. I'm adjusting the length of my stem so they don't look all the same. And again here I'm going out of my reference photo, but just adding different directions for the leaves, so there's more energy, more expansive energy, and interesting shapes and forms for my painting. And I'm just softened the bottom of my leaves so that it kind of disappeared into imagination. Okay, so now I feel like I want to get some darkest dark. I don't want to fuss, you know, so I'm ready to give the darkest dark to complete this painting. So I take off water on my brush and pick up pure pigment. This is dark gray, Payne's gray actually, and mix with a little grain. So I look at where I want to put some darkness just selectively, and some on the bud to define the structure of the bud and the flower stem a little better. And here is very personal, and you know I'm a more airy person, so I don't like to put darkness everywhere, but it's really your choice. You can continue to darken it where you feel you want the darkness in, and you don't have to follow whatever I'm doing here. Just feel into it and trust your feelings, and that's very important. Okay, so what I just did is I spattered some yellow colors to give it more liveness, and I felt like I could still paint, but in the same time, I feel this is complete. It is simple and wonderful and beautiful, and have that flower sense, the energy that's there. And I'm happy. So I remind myself now just probably a good time to put down my brush after I do some final definition to the center of the painting, which is the center of the flower, to give it more of the strength. Then I am good. So no more fussing, and let the leaves to be loose and the other buds to be loose, and this is beautiful. Alright, so here is the finished little painting, and I hope you enjoy it, and happy painting your spring flowers, and I will see you next time.